Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Juggernaut, and this is Let's Play Stellaris, the Star Trek Horizon mod, a total conversion mod into the Star Trek universe. Currently playing on 1.6.1 version of Stellaris, and I will explain everything in a bit, but before that, let me just say that we are going to play as the Romulan Star Empire in this very exciting total conversion mod for Stellaris, and well, yeah, let's just get into it right away. So, the Romulan Star Empire, except from from the fact that they are absolutely fucking awesome, have the following traits: they are authoritarian, xenophobe, and materialist. Decadent, enduring. This is for the species. So decadent, enduring, strong, and they are natural physicists. Which I guess is because of their cloaked vessels. I guess they need this. Fair enough, I suppose. And they have an executive committee. We will change that, don't worry. They are a police state, and they have cutthroat politics. So, let's see. We're going to play in... let's see. STNH Original. Milky Way. Let's play in STNH Original, and we can't edit the galaxy shape, obviously. No advanced AI starts, and obviously you can't have fallen empires in this mod either. Habitable worlds, I'm actually going to reduce it to 0.75. There's a lot of habitable worlds in STNH Original, so we're gonna reduce that down. Difficulty we're going to leave as is, and story mode I will turn on. These are basically some events, and basically it's essentially some other events and quest lines and stuff like that you get in the game, and it's very exciting, so obviously we're going to turn that on. So, here we go. Star Trek New Horizons. I played with three factions with this mod already, and I absolutely love it, so here we go. And it has everything like custom, the planets, and like everything. The attention to detail is phenomenal. The rebalancing is my favorite, I think, as well, with fleet capacity and the cost of ships and all that. But we're gonna get into that in a bit. For now, let me read the intro for the Romulan Star Empire. So, an executive committee, government. We read through all of this. So, it has been more than 1,500 years since our ancestors left Vulcan, our original homeworld, to escape the poisonous ideology of Surak and his followers. After a long journey, we found a perfect system to settle. We were no longer Vulcans, we were Romulans. Prouder than ever before. We have founded our Star Empire to protect our values. And we eventually did prove Surak wrong. Our empire has grown far more powerful and far more secure than Surak's Vulcan could ever hope to be. But we must not underestimate our enemies. We must remain vigilant. Our Senate and our Praetor must always choose the best course of action to protect all Romulans. We shall never yield. Never. Jolan True, my warriors, I suppose, or fellow loyal citizens. Yes, that's going to be the intro for the future. We're going to go with optical computers to begin with. Do we want some planetary things? Yeah, I think we do. As much as I like science consoles. There we go. And usually I do really good with power, really poorly with minerals, so as attractive as an option as this might be. And what does this give? Plus 15% armor, which is... let's do this. Alright, so, why am I playing this on this version of the game? Well, by the time you're watching this, it is possible, and some might even say likely, that the mod and the game have updated to a different version. However, right now, most likely, by the time you're watching this, I'm on a vacation to Greece. So I cannot record any videos, though I will have Wi-Fi and I will be able to interact with all of you guys and all that good stuff. But actually, let's survey this one first. But I'm not able to make videos for the next 2 to 3 weeks, which means I need a backlog. Actually, it's probably going to be like 2 weeks. So I need a backlog, and as a result, I need to record this right now, which is, well, like about a month earlier, maybe even a bit more. So yeah, there you go. Essentially, that's the reason. So there is quite a bit of a backlog of videos. All right, pretty simple explanation, I think. You don't need any more. I mean, I think it's fairly clear. So don't be confused by the game version or the mod version or anything like that. That's the only reason. All right, now we start off with well, quite a few planets. We start off with Romulus. And the twin planet right next to it, Remus, full of Reman slaves. Their happiness is at 35%. They live in I can't pronounce English. Impoverished conditions. Impoverished conditions. For the 11th time. Okay? We got it. We got there eventually. Now, we need minerals more than energy, and you're going to build a mining network there. Planet Romulus is fairly rich. Remus, a little bit less so, but it's useful to have nonetheless. You also start off with 2 colonies over here. You're going to see, if some of you have never played this mod, you're going to see it's really, really nothing like anything you'd expect. Bonjour, mon capitaine. Oh god, here we go. Red alert. Red alert. I wish to introduce myself. I'm Q. Q from the Q Continuum. I am omnipotent, handsome. Oh god. As a token of my generosity, I'd like to offer you have some shiny minerals. We appreciate the offer, Q. He's given us 1 mineral. Thank you. Thank you, Q. Next time he visits us, he's going to probably destroy all my fleets, but what the hell can I do about that? We have a Friends of Liberty movement in the Empire, and they want equal citizenry. Sorry, I'm having problems speaking. Free movement and to abolish slavery. There's 7 of them. Essentially, we have disloyal bastards on the planet, which is a problem. But hey. And another faction has been founded. Okay, what is it? Ah, see, these are proper loyalists. Romulan Future Vanguard. Huh? Asserting dominance and Romulan chairwoman. Alright. Genetic purity. Yes. Excellent, excellent. You will like me, and we will actually. So it'll make us fanatic xenophobe. We embrace this now. We support that faction, definitely. They are a bit extremist. Which I guess you could say is true for the entirety of the Empire, but hey. Speaking of which, I've been thinking quite a bit, and I've reached a conclusion. For those of you that don't know, I've been rewatching Star Trek: The Next Generation, and this is where my thoughts on this come from. Essentially, I've been thinking about Star Trek and all the different factions there and whatnot, and I've come to a conclusion that the Romulans are my absolute favourite faction. It was between them and the Borg. It was close, but the Space Romans. Have you seen my channel logo? Actually, have you seen what I tattooed about 2 weeks ago? Yeah, Space Romans. In all seriousness, though, let us focus on the task at hand, and yeah, this I'm also gonna talk about in a bit. But for now, let the Tal Shiara wait. Which is not very wise, I know, but shush. So this planet is fine. This planet is fine. Here, we can build a mining network, and over here we'll build a. Actually, we're going to clear this out next. Alright, so it would also be a good idea to build a colony ship. There we go. Now, we're going to end the committee session. This is the Tal Shiar Oversight Committee, and this is a repeating event that we get every now and again. Essentially, the idea is you can pay energy, minerals, and influence to sabotage other nations and other factions in the game through the Tal Shiar. And the Tal Shiar are damn potent and competent in carrying out these tasks, but they can be a little bit expensive, so... Well, the entire operations can be a little bit expensive, so for now we have no reason to do anything against anyone, simply because we haven't made contact with any nations or whatnot around us. Research complete. We can have Warp 5 engines. Actually, I think I'll prefer tactical consoles for now. Really, the warp engines later. We have Ordered Society Coalition as another faction. What do they want? Royalism. Elitism. Yeah. Yeah, about that. Whoops. Get research done. Food replicators. Or protein resequencer, whatever. Polarized hull plating is not that useful. Duranium hull is a little bit more useful, I think, but I prefer to go with shields. Let's go with a duranium hull. Okay. So we're building that. This is an Arctic world. It's not ideal. This Alpine one is pretty good, though. 65% for the Romulan. How big is it? It's 19. It's good enough to colonize. So I will guide you through most of the events and most of the new features regarding the mod, but you'll see, like, right now there isn't much to see, but in a little bit you'll see that this mod is a total conversion and is, in many respects, nothing like vanilla Stellaris. For example, you actually care about your ships in this mod. Right now I only have these 3 patrol J-list class vessels. So they're not very expensive. They only have, what, about 50, maybe 50 to 100 crew members in them, probably even less. So they're really not that important. However, when we get warbirds into the mix, they take up like 20, 40 naval capacity. They're huge ships, right? So that's the point. You no longer have like 50 different ships in one navy or 100 different ships early on in one navy. No. You have fewer ships, but they're a lot more powerful. And I love that rebalancing. I think it's my favorite part of the entire mod is the rebalanced ships. I really love that. So, you know, there's that, I suppose. I'm going to settle down here, maybe? No, we're going to settle down here. And, huh. This didn't work last time. Okay. Must have been updated then. Huh. Because last time when you clicked randomize name, it just didn't work. It just didn't give you any name. It just gave you the default one for the system. Which is interesting. Okay. Fair enough. Commendable initiative, yeah, definitely. And like I said, I've noticed that there are a lot more Class M planets, which is like colonizable planets, I suppose you would call them, so yeah. And the difference between colonizable and non-colonizable planets is now huge. So you can colonize an alpine world, and you can colonize a continental world. Why? Well, you take a look at Earth, you know, we are able to live on the Northern Pole. People do live in Greenland and Iceland and Norway. It's not like if there's an entire planet that's like Iceland, that we're not going to be able to live there. Right? It's not like that. We are able to live in those conditions. You know, we don't all live in exactly perfect 24 degrees Celsius weather. So we can live in the desert as well. In fact, you know, we do, as humans. Same for the Romulans, so you can live in those planets. However, you can't live in planets where there's no atmosphere. You can't live in planets where there is absolutely no living form whatsoever, plant or otherwise. And nothing living, so you can't colonize those planets. So the difference is huge, which I love, because in the base game, it's like, well, this one's slightly chillier than your preference, so you can't colonize this, which I'm not so quite sure. I mean, you do get habitability up, and you have tech for that as well, but do I really need technology to tell me I can live in slightly colder places than where I am right now? I'm not so sure about that. So, we can form coalitions. This is actually very useful. We can have genetic engineering. And yes, you can start off with genetic engineering very quickly, but I think we want some unity. Fusion missile defense thingamajig, or sorry, this. So it's a warhead with a fusion core. I prefer torpedoes, like ion torpedoes and photon torpedoes, than warheads, because, well, warheads are kind of terrible. Defense satellites are also rather shite, so I guess we'll go for the warhead and develop that line further. Alright. By the way, there are Borg in this mod, and you can play as them. Well, not directly. You need to use cheats to play as them, but the way they work is terrifying. Essentially, the way they work is they work just how I wanted my Borg species to work out. Right? In my playthrough, I wanted them to assimilate people as soon as they land on a planet. That's what the Borg do. As soon as you lose a planet to the Borg, it becomes a Borg planet, and all of your population are converted into Borg. So, good luck. It's a fantastic mod. I cannot. So we have the rebellious elements that have popped up in the Empire. Then, all right. Let's see. Committee of Robotic Sciences, Machine Love, Science Without Borders. Bleeding Edge, staying ahead of the curve and not allowing any fellow empires to be more than equivalent in tech. Ooh, yeah, that's not exactly going to be... You're not going to be thrilled about the situation in the Empire for very long, I don't think. Because, yeah, I tend to prefer military power over technology. Federation is actually quite the opposite. If we meet them, it's going to be an exciting time for all of us. Of that I can assure you. Speaking of which, I intend to play this a little bit more passively than usual. Simply because of the nature of the mod, to be honest with you. Because this is actually really different from anything you might expect and might be accustomed to in Stellaris, because in Stellaris mostly you're just waging wars, right? Or going about diplomatically acquiring the universe and making it your own personal plaything. Here it's actually pushing towards tolerance a lot more and just peaceful coexistence, which is, this is great, honestly. Now, we do have a problem in the shape of several hostile ships approaching us. It's a Romulan pirate fleet. Now, they can knock some of these things out, that's fine by me, but I need reinforcements to deal with them effectively. I need a couple of more J-list class patrol vessels. And yes, the most basic, cheapest unit in the game costs 4 naval capacity. Don't worry about it. Well, actually, don't think about it too much. Alright, so this thing's going to go down anyway. It did do some damage to their shields, though, so... You know what? Go in immediately. And we'll 5 engines next. But I think this is quite enough for the first episode. I've sort of drawn you into the experience, if you will, in the Romulan Star Empire and explained the Let's Play a little bit. So in the future, we're going to focus more on the actual gameplay and what we're going to do. But yeah, I think I've sort of laid out the basic principles of the Let's Play and everything, and I think you'll really enjoy this mod. It's a nice little break from the traditional Stellaris gameplay, while still having a lot of the same qualities of the base game. And it's just a fantastic full conversion mod that I really, really love. So yeah, there we go. It's fairly scripted. No, it has some scripting elements with regards to, like, I guess the factions are a little bit predictable, which I kind of want and expect from a Star Trek mod. The events are really cool, but if you're a fan of Star Trek, you know exactly what to do in them. Which is great. I will use that to my advantage. It's like a nice little personal side game, I suppose, or mini game. And I'll give you an example. You meet the Shellyak at one point, right? A very angry Shellyak. And he starts threatening you, so what do you do, right? You remember how Picard dealt with it? You can do the same thing just without making all the mistakes he did. Well, arguably mistakes, but, you know, he did get one of his crew members killed. No spoilers, but, hey. At any rate, yeah, so there is layers to this. There is quite a lot of depth. And of course, when a certain amount of time passes, your technology automatically goes up. You get new ship designs and stuff like that. So there is some scripting, but there is a lot of freedom as well to do whatever the hell you want. So I really love the mod, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And I hope you'll join me on this experience. So, yeah. Until next time. Please remember to like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video and want to stay tuned with the rest of the series. Take care, have fun, and bye-bye.